So the Food Babe released her first book today. I took a quick little look and it's pretty hilarious. So the Food Babe, or Vani if you will, for those who aren't very familiar, is a blogger who has gotten really popular over the past few years because she goes on these campaigns with her internet followers, who she dubs the Food Babe Army, to try and basically bully a bunch of companies to changing the way they produce their foods or changing certain ingredients and blah 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 blah. Now, as plenty of other websites have shown in the past, and I'll have some links down there for you, the Food Babe, she has a tendency to get really up in arms about certain types of ingredients or chemicals. If she can't pronounce it, it probably causes cancer. Or more appropriately, if she doesn't endorse it, it causes cancer. You see, the Food Babe, she has rallied against certain types of ingredients or chemicals before in the past, yet at the same time, some of the products that she's pushing and trying to get people to buy from her sponsors that she makes money from have those ingredients in them, which makes her an enormous hypocrite. I refuse to give the Food Babe any money. I am not going to buy this book. I did, however, start looking through it on the Amazon preview page, which actually you can read the entire thing if you want, and you're patient and you go through a browser and do that. I'm not that patient. I'm sure somebody out there is just going to completely dissect and demolish every bad pseudoscientific claim that's in there. And I can't wait to read it or watch it. Please, give it to me. But going through the preview of her book, there's an option where it'll give you a random page. So I thought, what the hell? I'll see what she's got to say. So I've chosen 3 tasty little sections that I found at random, and their page numbers that we'll get into in just a second. But before that, I have to address this introduction written by Mark Hyman. This guy is... And yeah, so this introduction is just so incredibly terrible. Check it out. There are thousands of health revolutionaries working to change our food system. I consider myself one of them. But very few of us have figured out how to speak truth to power and slay Goliath, the food industry, or even make his knees buckle. The beauty and genius of the Food Babe is not simply that she rails against our toxic food system, or educates us about the dangers of industrial food in general. She goes after the Achilles heel, the one missing scale on the dragon, and shoots an arrow so true and straight, so deadly, that it takes down food giants who otherwise merely laugh at critics, who ignore most of us calling for a change to the food system. Instead, the CEOs and executives of major companies invite her into their inner sanctums and take her advice on how to change for the better. They fear her Food Babe army, the millions of citizen activists who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think Mr. Mark Hyman might have a little bit of a crush. Either that or he's really well paid to write this absolutely ridiculous introduction. There's more to it, more before that, more after it. It just goes on and on and on. And millions of activists? No. Absolutely not. Her Food Babe army is an unfortunately misguided band of people who are concerned consumers and are being preyed upon by this parasite of a woman, telling them chemophobia, nonsensical bad science to try and scare them into eating the way she thinks they should eat, especially if she can get a kick down from them ordering foods from the people who sponsor her. It's disgusting. And after this love letter of an introduction, I was just waiting to find this. There's a note to the reader. Of course there is. Disclaimer! Note to the reader. Neither this eating plan nor any other program should be followed without first consulting a healthcare professional. No shit. If you have any special or medical conditions requiring attention, you should consult with your healthcare professional regularly regarding possible modifications of the program contained in this book. I'm sure doctors absolutely love it when people come into their offices with a book by somebody who has no medical training whatsoever, no nutrition training whatsoever, and no formal education of any kind in any applicable biological sciences and says, should I be doing this? No. The author's references to various products are for information purposes only and are not intended as an endorsement for those products from the author, her book, or the publisher. Statements made about products and descriptions of those products are accurate as of the writing of this book, November 2014. So she's not actually trying to peddle these services or these products. They just happen to be in her book and happen to be people that sell things on her website that she happens to, oh, I don't know, get a commission on sales. Total coincidence. Now keep in mind, these next 3 entries, I just randomly clicked, and if I got a page with a recipe, I clicked again. But these are the 3 random entries that I found by doing the random shuffle page through Amazon Preview. So first up is page 141. Be discerning with distilled liquor. If distilled liquor is your alcohol beverage of choice, the cleanest drink you can enjoy is tequila. I'm not talking about a margarita, which is full of sugar and calories, but pure tequila served on the rocks with a wedge of lime. This is exactly what I order when I want a cocktail, and it is a good choice, as long as you don't drink too many of them and end up dancing on the bar. This would be all well and good, but we've seen Food Babe drinking all sorts of different alcohols. And to be totally honest with you, sure, she makes a decent point. Tequila doesn't really have any natural sugars, and it's pretty low, more or less, for calories. It's about 96 calories per little shot. I'm kind of curious why she goes for tequila rather than vodka, but this is the kind of narrative that plays out in this book all the time. It's a, you should do what I'm doing because I know what's best for you to be doing, and oh, by the way, aren't we just silly billies? No, we're talking about toxins and poisons, but oh, watch out, don't drink too much tequila, you might end up on the bar, haha. So this one, not that bad, but just wait. Next up is from page 187. Choose organic. Last but not least, remember to always choose bread that is made with real certified organic ingredients. The wheat that is used to make most bread is heavily sprayed with pesticides. By choosing certified organic products, you will avoid exposure to GMOs. Nothing about that actually makes any sense. So she's saying that wheat that's used to make most bread is sprayed with pesticides. Okay. And then you should go for organic bread because then there's no GMOs. Okay. But organic wheat gets sprayed with pesticides too. So by the clever wording in this, she's inferring that if you go organic, you'll avoid pesticides and GMOs, which is bullshit. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And furthermore, what makes this even more hilarious is because of the next entry that I randomly got pulled up. And so this one's from page 183. 4 pages. Just 4 pages before the one that we just read, where she's advising what types of breads we should be eating. Check this shit out. It's crazy. Why I limit my flour consumption. Typical flour is milled, and this process discards all the essential nutrients contained by the original grain. The wheat germ and cellulose, fiber, are removed, and the heat that is generated to crush the grain into flour destroys any vitamin or mineral normally found in the grain, leaving a white powder devoid of life. It's essentially dead food, so the food manufacturers have to enrich it with added synthetic vitamins and minerals. So what the Food Babe is trying to tell us is that the simple act of milling your grain to make flour so you can make bread somehow turns wheat into dead food. So why then is she advising us to go and buy organic breads? Isn't that dead food? I mean, it's milled. The grain is milled. You can't make bread with a handful of wheat. You have to mill it. You have to pound it into flour. What the fuck is she talking about? What could possibly have been going on in the editorial office that was trying to market this book? How did they not catch this? How can you go from one page saying flour is dead, lifeless food, and then 4 pages later be like, by the way, if you're going to eat dead, lifeless food, you should do it this way so that you can avoid these 2 things, although one of those things you're not actually going to be avoiding. What the fuck? These are just like small examples. The entire book is a lot like this. I kept clicking and I kept finding more and more things just as mind-fuckingly stupid as these 3. And the whole thing plays out like a bad joke. And the worst part is most people are going to believe it. They'll eat it up. They'll totally believe everything that it's saying because it plays into their fears and it assuages that, yes, you're doing something right. You, the organic enthusiast, you, the parent who is trying to be mindful of their health decisions for their children, you, the 30, 40, 50, 60-something who are concerned about ailments in your health, you are doing the right thing. If you do these things, what Food Babe tells you, you are healthy. And much like Dr. Oz, Dr. Mercola, any other woo spinsters out there trying to make money off of your fear and your chemophobia, I can only hope there's someday comes some sort of reckoning where they actually have to pay for the fact that they mislead people into dangerous health decisions. So that's about it for this video. If you're a member of the Food Babe Army, or you're an enthusiast who tends to think that maybe some of her ideas have merit, then all I really want to say is, if you want to go this direction that she leads you, that's fine. But ultimately, if you really are going to make decisions about your health, talk to your doctor. Talk to somebody who has actually studied and spent their life so far developing themselves intellectually and scientifically to understand the complexities of the human body. Don't just believe some random person with a clever smile and an idea that sounds good to you.
Hey, this is Jeff's kid. If you like his videos, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos like it, and share with your friends.